right, that should be good.
Hello, everyone. My name is Erica. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm going to be moderating this panel. I need to check my script to make sure I don't miss anything. So, today we are raising money for the Trans Justice Funding Project to help trans people who need the money and need the care and need all of the love right now. Yeah. So our donation link will be in the chat. And then we will just start right things off. I already introduced myself. My name's Erica. I use they, them pronouns. And we're just going to do like a nice, easy icebreaker question. What your favorite cosplay is that you've done so far. So mine's probably Gentle from Transplanter. Um, I spent so many hours on on that. There's like 21 different embroidery decals on it, and the person who plays Gentle, Dare, their character means a whole lot to me, and it's a project I'm really proud of. I'm also the first person to cosplay Gentle,
Either
so
way, that's a really cool.
it's fun. Alrighty, and then we'll pass it over to Lex.
Yeah, I can tell. Now let me get back to you on this. As you can tell here, this is a Sora shirt. Another one. And for I Heart Humanity. Sure, some of you will probably get the reference, but pronouns and
Oh no, we're
training.
lagging.
Lagging just a bit, yeah.
I'm also a voice actor in training. I've got then.
Awesome. All right, and then
Anyway,
we'll,
and there's one more aspiration I have.
what?
One more aspiration I have in terms of as you can tell by that pillow over there, there's one character I aim to voice in the future. That's classic Sonic.
Yeah, that's really fun.
Honestly, well, yeah, it is. I mean, yeah, that it is. I mean,
Yep. That honestly would be really cool. I think for me,
it would. Your
the
turn.
only character that I've successfully cosplayed as have been my own. So my favorite of those was probably I played a character that was a half orc that had a whole bunch of like jewelry, face paint, stuff like that. And Yugo Go was his name. Uh,
I love that. OCs are
yeah.
awesome. I love cosplaying OCs. It's so fun.
Um, one day, I really hope that I get a chance to cosplay a character that is part of an existing media and like successfully pull it together, but I haven't managed yet.
Yeah, because you can already tell this is the Sora shirt I have on right now.
Awesome. Alrighty. So,
Although
in terms of a little
classic
more.
song, I'm not so sure about one.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, in terms of just general like housekeeping, content warnings, we're going to be talking about gender and cosplay. We're all people of queer experience, I imagine, who use cosplay to explore gender. So we're going to be talking obviously about our relationships to gender, gender euphoria, gender dysphoria, and we're also going to be talking about like systems of oppression, like classism and other barriers that people may have to costuming in general, or just even making their own clothes. So that's kind of the general information there. I'm just seeing if we have any responses yet. It doesn't look like we do. All right. Does anyone have any like favorite cosplay tips that they've, or any like costuming tips that they think have helped them the most?
Not me, but I do have. But if you're gonna cosplay as a character, you've got to think of how to get into that character. Like, for
That is
example,
very important.
my
You need to
Sora
be
cosplay.
use the
It's just
bathroom
a
when
shirt,
you are
though.
cosplaying. It's a very important
Honestly,
thing that
yeah.
not a lot of people think about. If
No.
you are cosplaying a character that has different skin tone and you use like arm socks and like gloves and stuff to make your body that color because it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. A lot of cosplayers usually have like single-use vinyl gloves that they use in like hospitals and stuff to be able to like use the bathroom and eat and stuff without getting their costumes dirty and staining the tips of your fingers, you know. So
Clever.
yeah, it is very clever. I saw that online. I was like, that's too perfect. Um, what else? Best cosplay
My
tip.
only tip is, take your goodness, what's that called? Always have a sewing kit, one of those little handy ones, just in case you
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
malfunction.
Sometimes cons will be wonderful, and they'll have like a couple people that
Alright.
usually like
Mhm.
tour around the country essentially that have like little repair kits so that you can repair
Yeah.
things as needed. But like having a needle and thread on hand is always a huge plus. Yeah,
Yeah, I can tell.
basic human things. Drink water and eat while you are cosplaying and you are at
Yes.
conventions.
Goodness. Yes.
Yes, if you do not eat, you will faint. And that's not
Take
good.
breaks.
Please
Don't
take
don't
breaks and take care of yourself. Um,
don't be like me. Take breaks.
please take breaks, or else you'll end up like me when I was cosplaying for like another transplanter
Yeah.
character. They have a wig that's
Mhm.
like all the way down to their
Oh
calves.
goodness.
And I didn't know that I was autistic at the time, so I like straight up went into a shutdown, sitting on a floor in a convention center,
Wow.
eating pizza by myself. So don't do that. Please take care of yourself. Um, have all of the things that you need to take care of yourself. If you have medication, make sure that you have it on you.
Everyone does it.
Yeah. If you can sneak pockets into any of your costumes, do it.
Yes.
Think about how you're gonna
Absolutely.
be able to carry your phone and like
Oh
just
no, you two
be
seem to be
to
cutting out.
take care of yourself when you're doing all of that. I'm going to refresh and see if we have response. We still don't have any responses. All
Mhm.
right. Yeah,
Important. Those are good tips for everyone.
definitely. Anything that you would do out of
Good
cosplay to
news.
take care of yourself, just do it in
See?
cosplay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but
on that note,
those are
if
good
you
tips.
cannot
It's
have
important to
pockets, it can be helpful to have not fanny packs, not
anyway.
specifically fanny packs, but that style of on the body, you know, pouches.
Like I have like a Ren Fair style like
Yeah.
fantasy pouch that I can just put onto a belt,
Hmm.
and that makes things
Times?
uh,
I've never had those.
very easy. Um,
I'm talking about
yeah,
medieval times, by the way. Was a good. Sorry.
Medieval Times, the company, like for the where they do like plays and stuff and stunts.
Out.
I think we're experiencing some serious lag between us.
Oh, some lag. Oh dear. Okay.
I'm gonna cut.
Banish the tech demons.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I wish Casper was here because Casper has an amazing oh my gosh, one freaking Dimension 20. I
They're
forget
so
the
good
name.
at so many things. It's
Yes, they're
honestly
a
not
marvel.
fair. It's not fair.
Unfortunately, capitalism got in the way of him being here. But yeah, Fabian, there we go. There's the name. He has an amazing Fabian cosplay. And it is
Ugh.
so
I'm
good.
ready
I
for the
see it
next
come
step
up
of
on my
that.
feed sometimes, and I'm like, it's so good. It's so good. Uh, yeah. Um, If you
Like
are
that.
someone, you got a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
But finish your thought first. I can
I
wait.
don't remember my thoughts, so you can just keep going by all means.
Although it's not complete, this shirt is
Is
part
the
of the cosplay
cosplay-
that I'm currently wearing right now.
Oh, nice. Nice.
So, since it's a panel about gender and cosplay, what cosplay have you worn that was the most gender for you?
Okay. They were a little monster. They're like gray skin, covered in scars, like the most like raunchy thing ever. I love them so much. They have a corset and then like a shoulder thing and no shirt. They just have straight up top surgery scars. And I loved cosplaying them because I kind of like looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, "Oh, I like this." And it like that was kind of
Good feeling.
a way for me to like have like a dress rehearsal before like telling my doctor that I'm interested in doing it. Or like even telling people in my life that I was interested in doing it. And people didn't really care that I had top surgery scars. Kids still wanted to take pictures of me as I was walking out of the subway station. So it was great. It was a stressful experience, but a very good experience.
That's awesome.
Pictures. That sounds good, but like
I think for me, the one that
excuse me
was
for a moment.
most
I just really can't get rid of this.
gender was, and this is going to sound absolutely ridiculous. It was for a one shot. We were playing as raccoons.
Oh, I love
and
that.
literally did up face makeup like I was a little awful trash goblin panda, and I was just like,
Other than
oh
that,
goodness,
Yeah,
just
that's so
gremlin
fun.
energy.
Yeah.
That was just the moment.
Yeah, that's so great. I love that. And I love that people are able to do that for like an hour or 2 or 3 and just like be able to do that and just have fun and explore. And yeah, cosplay helps with whimsy and just like having fun. And it's
you're gonna have to excuse me.
great. I hear a puppy.
Puppy?
I heard a puppy.
Yeah, that's mine. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I'm very lucky that my
that
dogs
would
haven't
be
started barking yet
my
because
family.
they bark at anything that moves. All right, I'm gonna refresh.
Honestly, they bark when danger is nearby.
Still no responses. Okay.
My mom's dog just barks whenever.
Does
anything
anyone have
happens.
any tips for beginner cosplays that we
Maybe.
haven't mentioned yet?
Recommend do
See,
not
I'm
start
kind
with
of in the
leather.
beginner phase of cosplay.
Yeah.
Actually, unless it's a character like the Fawns, then yeah, I can see not using any leather.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of like
Classic.
if you're
You
trying
can't
to
diss the
make
classic.
cosplay.
I'd say do whatever is most accessible to you. If you want
Yeah.
to, the only reason that I make so much of my cosplays is because it saves me money. Like I'm a full-time university student and I do not have. It's a lot cheaper for me to make things myself and to exploit my own labor than to get it from some company that I've never heard of or
100%.
yeah. I have a website that I love. It's called
Agreed.
Bootstrap Fashion.
Okay.
And it can make custom sewing patterns for you, and it has like thousands upon thousands of different things. So you can just put your measurements in, and then they'll email you a PDF pattern. The most expensive one on there is like 17 USD. Most of them are only about $5.
And it's
You
bootstrap
they
fashion.
Yeah. And they have options for a custom dress form as well, for like masculine and feminine bodies. So, um, yeah. A lot of them are, just as a disclaimer, because there's probably people who are trans in chat. I am trans. A lot of the patterns there are organized by gender. But if it's custom to your body and like literally your body measurements, I don't see how that's gendered. It's just a marketing tactic. That's just my personal opinion, but that's just kind of a disclaimer. They don't have a lot of, they have some unisex patterns, but not very many.
Yeah, they always. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's
As
also mood.
far as this one's more masculine based.
Yeah. Yeah. Generally speaking, when you are looking at patterns and things that are for like feminine people or women will generally have a little bit more of a curve to the pattern to kind of accentuate the curves. And generally, like male, masculine, or like unisex patterns will be more square cut. When you're starting out, I'd say it's probably easier to start with the squares and rectangles, especially if you're learning how to sew for the first time, because then it's just kind of a lot easier to kind of navigate, I find in my experience. Um, yeah, it's just a matter of kind of adjusting to what you need. Um, there are like if you are looking for ways to kind of accentuate parts of your body that you like, or like emphasize things, like if you have like thinner hips and your character has wider hips, or like wider shoulders or whatever, I would recommend just look at drag artists and drag performers.
Yes.
They know what they're doing, and they know how to make it seamless, and how to like
Yeah,
just
there's
fake it
one
till they make it,
show.
and they do an amazing job at it. And there's a bunch of tutorials on YouTube on how to contour your face to be more masculine, how to do like basic feminine makeup, like the way that they like cut like their hip padding if they have that,
Or like
for
inserts if you want, a fuller chest.
yeah,
There's all kinds
definitely.
of options.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of ways to kind of just YouTube. I've learned more from YouTube than I have from my parents at this point. Um honestly, like the other day I literally drafted a pattern based off of a shirt pattern based off of a tutorial on YouTube.
Nice.
And it turned out pretty well. And YouTube is free, and free is the best price.
Wow.
So yeah,
Don't we all know it?
free is the best.
So follow-up tip for beginner cosplay: closet cosplay. Make
Do it.
stuff out of things you already own or can get for cheap, or borrow from friends. Like, one of my first cosplays was Pokemon Trainer, right? Like, it's just standard, boring, hat, regular people clothes, and then some of those Pokeball toys that you get from like Walmart or Dollar Tree,
Definitely, yeah.
real simple, real easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Most of the fabric for my gentle cosplay is actually thrifted. I just like searched around thrift
Thrifting.
stores for a couple months, took my time with it, had little swatches so the palette fit. 90% of that is thrifted. The only thing that I didn't thrift were the arm socks. Like the lining of the pants is made from a bed sheet. So don't be afraid to they'll usually have material sections at thrift stores, so you can just make a bunch of things out of old bed sheets. I have a bed sheet on my sewing table right now that I'm going to make into a dress. you can get a lot of fabric
Actually, now that you
for
mention it,
very cheap.
well, now that you mentioned
It's also
bed
a
sheets,
great way to
I
get
think this might
leather.
actually be one of my favorites.
This used to
Which
be a
one?
pair of
I can't
pants that
see.
I've
Like
seen
I
ripped.
said.
Trying
Anyway,
to look.
Sorry, Matthew, I couldn't see what you were pointing at.
anyway, you. Sorry about that, but
Okay.
yeah, all your tips happen to be good advice.
This used to be a pair of pants. It's
All
no
good
longer a
advice.
pair of pants.
Yeah, kind of using a headphone mic at the moment, so I may explain why the audio is lower quality than usual.
That's
Yeah.
all right.
Look at the snipes. They really have Sonic and Shadow on them.
That's cool.
Honestly, I
Awesome.
literally can't believe.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of Sonic cosplayers, and they're always so cool, and they're always so creative with it.
Yeah.
Like Bluey cosplayers too.
Yeah.
Crush it. I love it.
Honestly, like I said back there about that pillow, I aim to voice classic Sonic in the games one day.
Hmm. Yeah, and
Not
he's such
likely
a
now, but there
such
has
a
been
classic
moments when that
voice
happened.
too.
If you had infinite
Although
resources and the skill to make it, what's your dream cosplay?
honestly, I don't really need to worry about that. I've already got a jacket in the closet, no pun intended, that has every character, that has about every known character to man, from Disney to Nintendo to funny thing, they even have Paper Mario on it.
Oh, it's fun.
You want to see that?
I don't know what my dream cosplay would be.
For me, it's kind of a tough one. I haven't exactly gotten that far yet, but hey,
Yeah.
this one right here. So it's kind of the easiest one thus far, even though it's a little incomplete.
Hmm. This summer I plan on revamping Oka because I did them in summer of 2023. So it's been a couple years now, and I'm a lot better at what I'm doing. So Oka actually has 4 wings that I didn't get to put into the cosplay last time, and like a bunch of like awesome beadwork and embroidery on their costume that I didn't really have the spoons to do back then, but I have the resources and the gusto to do now. So yeah, uh, I love doing transplaner cosplays because the research that I have to do and all of it is a lot of work, but
It's fun work.
It's a fun work, especially
Yeah, you get fun out of it.
when you are doing things from like small indie actual plays that no one has cosplayed before. It is so scary. It is terrifying. I feel like I'm shaking in my boots all of the time, especially when there's people in the transplanter server who have like worked on Shang-Chi and stuff and like with Marvel and like are
Oh yeah.
experienced in
that's
the
the thing.
industry, and I'm cosplaying their character and I'm just like, please just tell me I'm doing good. You
I
know?
noticed.
But
Yeah. Well,
yeah. It's a way to celebrate
although
trans characters because Transplaner is an all trans show.
Yeah.
And give a platform to a show that I really care about. And it's great. I love it. All right. I'm
I think for
gonna
me,
refresh.
my
anyway,
dream would be one day make something that's a robot or some kind of robot character.
Oh my gosh,
'Cause that'd be
animatronics are
so
so cool.
cool. I know, right? Like
They're
one
so
day.
Oh,
cool.
please don't bring up
I'm
animatronics,
not a math gay though,
please.
so I can't
One,
even figure out how to do that.
Look. See, I'm not a math gay, but I have heart and a dream and a soldering iron that I'm bad at. So I'll figure it out one day, but
I've seen
not
people
today.
make like entire like suits for like mech characters and just
Yeah.
like and like 3D print all the pieces and put everything together and like put LEDs in the eyes and
yeah, like
everything.
Gundams and all that.
Yeah, like people
Transformers.
wow. There are so many talented people in the cosplay space and it can be kind of intimidating. Yeah. But yeah, I wish that we got questions. I'm trying to refresh again and I don't see anything.
Check two.
I'll try opening up the form again. Yeah, I don't see anything yet. Darn it. It's okay.
So you'd mentioned that bootstrap fashion uses your custom measurements.
Yeah.
If you've never taken your measurements before, how do you recommend going about that?
I actually have a measuring tape right here. So generally
Wow.
I sew so much it's bad. So generally,
Well,
I
that's
think
not that bad when
you
you're.
can put your measurements in there in centimeters or in inches, so it doesn't matter whether you use imperial or the metric system. Usually, the most important measurements I find are your bust, which is the largest part of your chest. So you would just put your measuring tape around the largest part of your I'm gonna stand up just a tad. And you'll usually just put it around. Obviously you're not gonna be wearing armor when you're doing this, but you'll put it around the largest part of your chest and you'll measure it, write it down on a piece of paper. It's probably good to have a list of all your measurements on there. Your waist is the same concept. You just put it around the smallest part of your waist. You just measure that, write it down on a piece of paper. And A lot of people don't think about this, but when you're measuring for your sleeves, it's probably better to measure your sleeve with your arm bent instead of your arm straight. Because if you measure it with your arm straight and you pattern it, you're not going to be able to bend your arm when you're wearing the
That's fair.
large
That's fair.
sleeve shirt.
Yeah, because yeah, I've known a lot of people to have their arms like all straight, so that fashion designers tend to make that mistake a lot.
Yeah, so when I'm measuring my sleeve length, generally like I have my arm at about 90 degrees and then I measure until like usually about that bone on your
Okay.
wrist is usually
Yes,
the
that's good.
best part for that. Like usually you have a bone that kind of juts out on your wrist. So I usually
This
just use
guy.
that
Oh, this
as
one?
a reference.
Mhm.
Yeah, generally. Um uh Obviously if you like your sleeves a little longer, you can make them a little longer. If you like them a bit shorter, make them a bit shorter. And there is a lot of tutorials online on how to do most measurements. Um, yeah. Another thing to think about if you have a more feminine body and you are a little bit more curvy, it would probably also be good to measure your hip measurement, which is just like going around your butt at the widest part of your butt. When you are patterning shirts, a lot of people don't think about it, but if the shirt isn't big enough to go like over your butt, if that's something that you want, then it's just not going to fit over that part and it's going to bunch up at your waist. So, like, for example, I have a 40-inch bust, a 40-inch like hip measurement. So usually when I make like when I make shirts and stuff, usually it'll be like 20 inches on each side. So 20 inches for the front and then 20 inches for the back, making room for like seam allowances and stuff. So to make sure that like you can like tuck in shirts and stuff because that's usually something that I like to do.
Yeah, all of that's really good info.
Mm.
Well said. All of it is really good info. So,
You know where I found most of this information?
YouTube.
YouTube.
There used to be forums that I would
just a
trawl
guess.
for tips like these, and then for a little bit there were a few Reddit, you know,
Yeah, there's a couple
subreddits that would,
Reddits
but
too.
they're so like dead. The ones that I used to follow anyway.
Yes, I read it sometimes.
It's kind of
You
hard
learn
to
something
like,
new every day.
yeah, like there's so many breadths of knowledge. There's also is it the digital archives or the library of, I think it's
I don't remember which one.
archives.org.
Archive.
Net archive, I believe.
So they have like you can just make an account and they have so many sewing patterns on there for free. So
Free.
good. Like free, even if you're like, especially if you're
Again,
looking into
yeah.
historical reconstructions and stuff. They have a lot of information about like what people wore during different periods, and you can kind of like cross reference and like it's all digital, obviously, so you can't like take a book with you, but you can like borrow books and like add them to your favorites and stuff so that you can use them as a reference. So I've been doing that recently, and they'll have like information on like how to pattern, how to adjust fittings, and like tips and tricks for sewing, because there are some sewing books that come out, but so I find that some of the older vintage
Yeah,
sewing
I've
books
still got
are
one of
are more
those.
useful than the new ones.
The new
Older
ones I
ones
don't.
seem to be
I
better.
don't
You know what they say? You can't. Yeah,
Like I have a sewing machine from the 70s. Like I
and it
from
probably
well, I don't
doesn't
it,
break down.
it works great. Like
well,
sometimes
you
it
know what I said before. You can't diss the classics.
yeah. Um, you can find sewing machines secondhand. A lot of people are like, I see a lot of people online recommending like a $500 sewing machine for a beginner sewer, and I'm like, that's a lot of
Mm,
money for a
If
lot
you
of
want to,
people.
yeah, if you
That's
yeah,
want to
like
begin,
sometimes it's just
yeah,
yeah, that's like a third of my rent when I was living in Toronto. That's a lot of money.
so
Um,
much.
so
Get them secondhand, or get the cheapest one you can find. Like $90 is still a lot, but it's not 500.
yeah, you can look at like Marketplace, like on like we have Kijiji in Canada. I think you have Craigslist in the States. So you can like look on there and see what you can find. If you have a grandparent that doesn't use their sewing machine anymore, you can just be like, "Hi, I'll just take this, thank you." Um,
yeah, but you got to be polite
Ask
about it.
first. Ask first. But
first, obviously, but like just like ask, being like, "Hey, I don't see you use that very much. Can I just take it?" And they'll probably say yes
Yeah,
because
exactly.
grandparents do.
and heck, a lot of them great fonts of knowledge for if you want to learn how to do some of these skills. They A lot of them happy to teach.
Yeah,
Maybe not the best teachers, but happy to teach.
yeah. Like I have a sewing machine, but like so much of my projects I hand sew with for hemming and for like if I want something that has like a really really strong stitch, then I'll do a back stitch for it. And
And then we
there's
have, as
a
you
lot.
mentioned, there were like multiple wings on your cosplay, Erica.
Yeah, I got a pattern. Like I paid for a tutorial online on how to do it. So there's like it's like a backpack pattern thing, and then you
Yeah.
can kind of attach the wings to it. And then for the second pair, Oka has a corset, so I'm going to kind of You'll see this with like
corset.
Tinkerbell, and like fairy cosplayers. They'll have
Oh, so like
a
fairy
U
wings.
shape that they can put into the back of their costume or their dress, to kind of like so that you don't see any like awkward like straps or anything. So I'll probably do that for the second pair and then just find a way to get them all to work together. um, yeah,
Well,
it's
they
just a
are
matter.
fairy wings. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, they have like huge angel wings. They're terrifying. Um, but there's
Oh, angel. I thought they were
yeah, they
fairy
have
wings.
four sets, like two sets of angel
So,
wings, like a bigger one and a smaller one, and
on that note,
they're half ASMR. So yeah.
on that note, when you
Yeah, of
work
course.
with feathers, what are your tips? Because I hate working with feathers. I hate
I
them.
don't.
That's smart. That's smart.
No tips whatsoever. Just don't use wax. That's a classic.
Don't
But
use wax.
honestly, just don't use anything that could cause the wing to burn. We can't have another Icarus incident, can we?
Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, I've seen a lot of people use
Oh,
like EVA foam and craft foam instead of feathers.
Yeah,
Um,
and then just shape,
uh,
you
so
know, the
then you're not
whole.
shedding all over wherever you're walking, which is great.
Mhm.
And then usually what I see is that people will add like feather boas, usually at the tops of their wings,
Okay.
to kind of add a little bit of extra detail. Um,
I'm
yeah.
a
I
fan of
understand.
using I can't think of the name of the fabric right now, my brain blanked, but cutting fabric in a way that it looks fluffy and feathered without being feathers. 'Cause, gosh,
Yeah,
that shedding.
there's ways
Right.
There's ways.
there's ways to kind of gather fabric in certain ways to
Mhm.
kind of give that look without actually making it be the actual like the actual thing, you know. Um, so yeah, fake it till you make it. Honestly, that would be my advice.
But sometimes it works.
Yeah, sometimes it works. Like I didn't know what I was doing when I was cosplaying Oka. I literally taped myself with saran wrap and masking tape to make the pattern for their corset. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I just watched like a couple of videos on YouTube on how to make a corset. Made a corset. Use zip ties instead of boning because it's cheaper, and it was great. It's a beautiful corset.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to mess up and like do things that are like quote unquote beginner like problems or beginner issues. Um, and cosplay whoever you want. If no one knows who you are, it's fine. That's
Yeah.
like I've cosplayed characters from Critical Role and I don't cosplay characters from Critical Role anymore, but like people didn't know who Keyleth was. It's fine. Who cares? I did it. I spent
Honestly,
so many hours
yeah.
on it.
'Cause
It's fine.
like I said before, and like I said before, this shirt is a Sora cosplay. So if you remember No Game No Life, he really said this one line: "Do not sell humanity short," because a lot of there's a lot of things about humanity that we may seem weak, but we're constantly evolving.
Really.
Sometimes for the
That's so
better,
gender.
sometimes
I
for the
love that.
worse.
Hmm.
Adaptability. Um, I had a follow up thought, but it is gone.
The
It's gone.
partial meaning of
Yeah. Cosplay whoever you
it.
want, whenever you want. Doesn't matter. But then when you have someone who
However,
knows who you are, it's great.
yeah. Is that muted? That's not muted. Good. The only caveat I have for that is do your research.
Do Do your
if you're going to be
research.
cosplaying a character from a particular culture,
But
Mhm.
yeah,
be sure you know what you're doing and whether that's gonna be okay to do or not. Like,
Yeah. Make sure that you're not like with a lot of
I agree.
characters from Transplaner, they're made by people of color. So I do a lot of research and it takes so much time, but it's so worth it. For Zynon, he's played by a mixed Japanese person. So I actually learned about like a type of embroidery called sashiko, and it was basically like a way to kind of put patterns into fabric and reinforce fabric and make sure that it lasts a really long time because fabric until the 1800s was something that was so precious and costs a lot of time and money to make
Fair.
and very rare. So people were very, very careful with how they took care of their garments. And it was actually kind of a mark of like resistance against the like of the upper classes in Japan at the time because it was a way for like a middle and lower class farmers to take care of their clothes and make sure that they literally last a lifetime. So like I was able to kind of integrate that into his cosplay and into the design and everything. And there's a lot of symbolism with Sashiko too. So I was able to kind of figure all of that out, and yeah, it was great.
that's so awesome. Yeah.
Well, but yes, a bit of a follow up on the do your research thing. You've got to, if it's like for a character, you've got to know that character well, even if it's one you made yourself,
Definitely.
especially if it's one you made yourself.
I have playlists for all of my characters.
If it is like,
I try to do that,
oh,
but some of my
honestly,
characters just refuse to
honestly,
be
if I have to put
flexible.
into words,
Yeah. I think knowing them well, like
honestly, I've
knowing.
seen, I don't even know if I have a playlist for Sora.
Mm, yeah, even if it's just music from the media that the
Of course, I know.
person is from, or just music that reminds you of them, those are all really great. I think we'll go for a couple more minutes and then we'll have to do our sign
Yeah, this is
offs.
important to character
Okay.
development.
Okay. Mm,
But yeah,
I
I'm
had
trying to.
another question, but I don't remember what it was.
I tried telling my parents. Now, I tried telling my parents to be silent, but apparently they just don't listen a lot of the time.
I
Give me
I
totally.
can
one
hear.
moment.
Yeah, I feel like people don't notice how sensitive microphones are sometimes.
I
They
keep trying to make sure this thing doesn't pick up other stuff, but it's like,
they're very finicky and kind of hard to control sometimes, but definitely worth it. Um, but yeah, closing thoughts: just have fun, cosplay whoever you want, um, do whatever you want. If you want to buy your cosplay, that's fine. If you want to make your own cosplay, that's fine. If you want to get a wig from Amazon, great.
That's
If you want to
also
get it
fine.
from not Amazon, that's fine.
Yep.
Do it in whatever way is financially and mentally the most accessible to you.
Important for you.
And do not compromise yourself in the process, whether that's like aspects of the character that make you dysphoric in terms of gender or um, you know not taking care of yourself while you're in cosplay. Please take care of yourself when you're in cosplay.
Which I will.
If you're a masculine person and
Which
you
I will.
bind, or a trans masculine person and you bind, don't wear a binder for more than 8 hours. Your ribs will thank you. It's not worth it. Trust me. I'm saying this from experience. And yeah, do not wear a binder for 12 hours on a con. Don't do it. Your friends will yell at you, and your ribs
Likewise.
will also yell at you.
Likewise, do not for for your
Yeah,
own
I
feet, knees, and ankles. Do not be the person who wears heels
Have shoes
for
that
12
fit.
hours. Yes,
Have
make
shoes
sure
that
your
fit.
shoes fit. Take care of your feet.
yeah, you
Mhm.
put your high
Change
heels,
your socks.
especially if you're not, yeah,
Yeah, make sure that you're just take care of
yeah,
your body, have
high
fun,
heels.
cosplay whoever you want, while being like culturally cognizant. Like if there's, I don't cosplay people of color. I just don't do it. Um,
Don't do blackface.
I
Just
don't do
don't
it.
do it.
Period.
Just
Like
don't do it.
even if there
Bad idea.
the, the
Even for
slightest
me,
amount of room of interpretation, whether a character is white or not white, I don't cosplay them. Done. Um, that's it. Um, yeah, like Gentle is blue.
no
Oka
need
is
for
gray.
fan interpretation.
Zynon is
As you
purple.
said, always.
So just
Oh,
be aware of that.
speaking of characters that
Cosplay
are
and for
fun
those reasons.
colors, if you choose body paint, make sure you get a gosh, what is that called? Fixative, something to set.
I usually put on body paint with setting spray instead of water, and
Yes.
it works like a charm.
Don't do like we did. Me and my sister went and said, "Oh yeah,
You gotta
body
make
paint."
sure that
It got on everything. It got on everywhere. Just,
a
just,
bad
just
idea.
be kind to yourself. You don't want to
Be kind
have
to yourself.
blue
If you're a
paint
beginner and you
everywhere.
mess up, that's fine. But yeah, we should probably. It's 4:58. Not 4:58. It's almost on the hour, so we should probably do outros. Yeah, here, let's just go in reverse order this time. So we had Lex go last, I think, when we
Right?
were doing intros.
Sure. Hi, I'm Lex. You can find me places at LexArt with 2 X's. My card has all of my links. Um, yeah, there's stuff happening. My brain is not being cooperative. You can find it there.
Yeah, it is getting late in Eastern time. Well, like in on the
Central
American
time where I'm at
side,
now.
in the Americas. Yeah. All right, and then Matthew, if you want to do outros.
Okay then. Right. As I said before, my name is Matthew. I use he, him pronouns. And as I mentioned multiple times, I am a voice actor, and this probably is was obvious Mario, Sonic, and Pokemon fanboy. And I happen to, my late grandpa. I think that's everyone.
All right, and my name is Erica. I use they, them pronouns. And I am currently in a costume as Theo, who uses they, he pronouns, and I play him over on Single Step Gaming every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to check that out, you absolutely can. If not, then you can find me on socials at Erica Rose 2187. So that's ERIKA Rose, like the flower, 2187, like the Star Wars reference. And yeah, so we are going to go ahead and sign off. Next thing that we have, I think, is I'm trying to look at my scripty things. Where did it go?
I think it was Thorns of Sun and Roots
See you
of
guys
Chaos.
then.
Build time one shot.
Yeah, so we'll have another TTRPG one shot
Okay, so
after
see you
this
guys
if you want
then.
to stick around. And yeah, donate to the Trans Justice Funding Project. And yeah, so happy Pride and stay safe, everyone. Bye.